Okay, so today's video, I'm just gonna share with you 3 meatless meals. These meals are pretty easy, they're all delicious, and I've been doing this for, I don't know, the last 5 years, giving you some ideas, and I think these are the best ones that I have yet. These are so good and delicious and kind of unique ideas. The last recipe I have is actually the Franciscan fryers do that. So I'll share with you my last recipe. Like I said, all of these are pretty easy, pretty kid friendly because I have 5 little children and they're a little picky, some of them. So I try to make nutritious meals that they will really enjoy. So the first one that I have is salmon bowls. So I normally am not like a salmon lover, but this is pretty good. It's kind of Asian infused, very flavorful. And so I'm gonna share with you how I make that. And I get a lot of people who say, well, fish and salmon are meat. And actually in the Catholic faith, you are allowed to have fish during Fridays. And it's not just Fridays during Lent. In the Catholic faith, I didn't know this, but all Fridays, you're not supposed to have meat. I did not know that till a couple years ago, so that is new for me, and that might be new for you too if you're Catholic. But so I love having really easy meatless meals on hand for Friday nights, and so this is a really good one. This is my salmon bowls. It has rice in it, it has all these different flavors, textures, and so let's get into it. So first what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna marinate your salmon. And so how you'll do that is you'll need amino acids or soy sauce. This is a little bit healthier, so I always do this. Some maple syrup, some garlic, and also some salt, pepper, and garlic salt. So that's what you need for the marinade. All right, so you first want 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And this is the sweet part of this bowl. And this is kind of probably why my kids like it, because there is maple syrup, so there's a hint of sweetness. It does not overtake the dish though, so don't worry about that. Anyway, so 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or amino acids. All right, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you'll just put that in there as well. And you'll mix that up. Okay, so the next thing you'll do is you'll cube up the salmon, and that'll make it super easy to eat. So after I cut off the bottom, I'm just cutting it into cubes right now, and then I'm gonna put it in my dish, and then I'm gonna put my marinade on top of it. So you just kind of put it all on top of it, and make sure all the different pieces are saturated with the marinade. And you'll wanna marinate this for an hour or 2. If you don't have time, it's okay. There's so many times I don't have time. And then what you're gonna wanna do once it's marinated and ready, you're gonna sear it with butter. So you're gonna put butter in the pan and then let them cook for a little bit till they're done, and then you'll put them in the bowl. So let's make the bowl. I'll show you what's in the bowl. All right, the next thing you'll do is you want edamame, and you'll put it in some boiling water, and you'll just cook it for a couple minutes, and that will be on the side of your bowl. Before you really do anything, you should be cooking the rice. I should have said that. So you want to cook the rice and have that ready. I have a rice cooker, so it's super easy. I just put everything in and I turn it on, super easy. All right, so the next thing you'll want to do is you'll have carrots and cucumbers, and you'll kind of chop them up because they go in the bowl on the side of the bowl. I love almost anything that has cucumbers because it's just so fresh and crunchy and yummy in that way. So I love that salmon bowls are like all the rage right now, and that most of them have cucumbers in them because like I said, almost anything that has a cucumber in it, I'm a fan. So you'll just kind of cut those up so they're bite-sized pieces. So I have these little like English cucumbers. They're really small, but they're so crunchy and flavorful. And so I will put about one of those little ones in each bowl. I'm just making one bowl for myself right now because it's lunchtime, and so I figure why not have this for lunch. The next thing you'll want is a carrot. And what I do is I just kind of shave it off with a peeler, and I put that in the bowl as well. I go back and forth like this, and it kind of makes little shavings, and I turn it, and that's how I do it. And then I just use 1 carrot for each bowl as well. All right, so I have you can see the steam, the hot rice, it's all ready. And so what I'll do is I'll just put the cucumbers to the side, just one side, put all the cucumbers, and then I will also do the same with the carrots. I'll just put it to one side, so it's kind of in one section, and you can all mix it all together once it's all done. All right, the next thing I do is I'll put an avocado on here. And I just like to have these in like slices. I think it looks really good. All right, so then once your avocados are in the bowl, then you're gonna wanna put the edamame, once it is all done, into the bowl as well. The next thing you'll want is to make a sauce for the top of it. You'll kind of drizzle it right on top to make it even more good. So then what you'll do is you'll get 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise and then 1 tablespoon of soy sauce or amino acids. So the next thing you'll want to do is you put the sriracha in there, and this will kind of give it a little bit of heat, which is okay because the salmon is pretty sweet. So it kind of is salty, sweet, and spicy, all of them together, so pretty good. So you'll want to put a little, I have little kids, so I just use a little bit of sriracha, and then you'll just kind of stir it all in there, and that kind of makes your sauce. All right, then you'll want to put butter on the bottom of the pan, and that will help it from the salmon sticking to the bottom of the pan. I actually saw this in a hibachi grill, and it made so much sense. So you'll just grill that for about 2 to 5 minutes, and turn it every so often. I add a little bit of the sauce to that as well, not all of it, but some of it. Then you'll want to put over the top the sauce that you made, the mayonnaise, sriracha, and soy sauce, and you'll put that right over the top. All right, so that is the bowl. It is looking so good. I'm so excited. This is probably a lot for me. This would probably feed, like, I would say like 3 or 4 of us in my family because I have little kids. But it is beautiful and it looks so good. I cannot wait to eat this. All right, so the next meal that I'm gonna share with you is fish taco bar. And so it's pretty much fish tacos, but bar style. So if you're like me, I have little picky kids, and so they can kind of mix and match whatever they want on their tacos. And that way they'll eat it, it's delicious. So I have a sauce, and I'll show you all the fixings that you can put on your taco. And you can make your fish batter if you want. I'm a super busy mom, as I know most of us are. So I'll just get these from the store, and that's what I'll use for my fish tacos. So I'll show you all the fixings that I put in it. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you'll put in the fillets in the oven. And while it's cooking, so it's usually about 20 minutes, you'll kind of be cutting up all the veggies and the fixings and all of that. So I'm gonna chat with you while I do this. And pretty much, it's just kind of like tacos, but it's a little bit more Tex-Mex side of things. I put tomatoes in mine. I love this because there's lime in it. I feel like anything with cilantro or lime or cucumbers, I love it. And actually, I would say lemon too. All right, so you'll cut that up, and you got your tomatoes, so that's one thing. The next thing you want is red cabbage, and I cheated. I have it already cut up, so I just put it in a bowl. And that way the kids can kind of take out what they want. But I try to have them have everything in it, but they get to decide the amount to put in it, if that makes sense. So you'll just put it in, I have these little decorative bowls, so you can put it in there. You'll want to have, I have corn tortillas, but you'll want to have the little one, whether it's flour or corn. Usually you have the corn tortillas, that usually goes with the meal a little bit better. Like traditionally it's corn, little corn tortillas. So I'll just put that in this little bowl here. All right, so then you want to add cottage cheese, and pretty much you can just kind of crumble it into your dish. All right, the next thing you want is a red onion, and you'll just use about a half an onion, depending how much you and your family like. So cut that up into little chunks, little cubes. All right, so what are you guys doing for Lent this year? I hope that y'all have thought about it and what you're gonna do. My goal this year has been to be like 5 steps ahead. So I've been kind of thinking about Lent for quite a while now. And so I think last week's video, I talked all about like what I'm doing for Lent, and kind of just trying to reflect on growing closer to God. And that's the whole purpose, right, of Lent, is how can we grow closer to God during this time. So anyway, so you'll have to check out that video after this and get some ideas if you're looking for some. I have this whole worksheet, like a PDF on that you can fill out, like, because there's the 3 pillars for Lent. So there's almsgiving, prayer, and fasting. And so the church kind of encourages you to do one of the 3 things, like one of each. And so I kind of go through that a little bit with the video, but more like personal, like what I'm gonna do. So if you're looking for some ideas on what you could do, you could check out that video. Also, you'll need some limes because I feel like every fish taco has limes in it. I love this meal because it's just super easy. You can just throw it together. You don't have to think too much. I have this on my website, so I will put that link down below if you want to just have it as a reminder of like the different sides you could have with it and stuff like that. I'll also put the salmon, all the other recipes down in the links down below. So anyway, so you got your limes, you got your red onions, and you'll kind of just make a bar out of all of these different yummy things. So the next thing you'll want is avocados, and you can chop them up or you can just like slice them the long way. So you want cilantro. I wanted the big bunch, but I got this little tiny one. So you really will want a bigger bunch if your family likes cilantro. I know some people don't like cilantro. I personally absolutely love it, especially with lime and cucumbers and, you know, all the bright foods. I absolutely love them. So pretty much you'll just cut all that up for your fish tacos as well. Okay, so now for the sauce, the fun part, right? So I love every dish that has a sauce, I feel like. So what you'll want to do is you'll get a half a cup of sour cream. All right, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. So that's kind of a lot, but it'll give a lot of flavor. So you want to put anywhere from 2 to 4 limes in. You want to kind of see what tastes good for you and your family. Kind of depends how much juice is in there as well. So about 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons. And so you'll kind of mix that around, and then you'll want to add sriracha too. That will add some flavor as well. So about a teaspoon of sriracha, that'll give it a little bit of a kick. And so that is the sauce for the tacos. So this will kind of brighten everything up. You can always just like taste it to see if that's like good for you as far as taste-wise. Tastes amazing. So we will stick with this. And so that's pretty much the whole bar. I'll kind of show you what it looks like on top, but pretty much you just build on top of the taco. I always put the sauce on the bottom for some reason. I'm always afraid it's gonna fall out, and I feel like the sauce is the best part. And then put the sauce in, then you put your little fish fillet there, and then you just kind of build on top of it, whatever it is that you want in your taco. All right, so this last meatless meal that I want to share with you is split pea soup. I like this one because you can just chop everything up and put it all together and let it simmer for, I think it's like an hour and a half. And it comes out to this wonderful meal. But I like having it with, this is sourdough bread, so some kind of crusty bread next to it. But the soup is good for Lent. I like it especially because I used to help with the Franciscan brothers, the CFR brothers in the Bronx. And every Lent, they would make split pea soup, and that is all they had during Lent. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner was split pea soup. And so I kind of like it because I feel like there is something to having a very simple meal that you can have with your family, or maybe that's what you want to do personally, is just go all in during this Lent and just have split pea soup. I don't know, I'm not in a stage where I can do that, but I think some people could. So this is a good recipe. Like I said, this one has potatoes in it, so it's a little bit heartier. And so let's get into it. Okay, here's what you'll need for this meal. You'll need 4 carrots, 1 cup of onion, 2 garlic, 4 kind of medium-sized potatoes, red potatoes, oregano, and then 2 quarts of chicken broth. And then this is the split peas that I use. So you'll just kind of first cut up the onion and the garlic and put it in olive oil, and then you'll chop up the rest of it.
I'm driving, you're smiling, just really doing nothing. That's the thing I like about you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what we wanna do. Yeah, No, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, we're playing songs on the radio. Sing along to the words that we don't know. House brings out the wild ones. Let's just run away. Yeah, I could drive the whole night long. Being with you is like being on the rodeo. House brings out the wild ones. I got a little crush on you.
Okay, so this is what it looks like, the soup when it's all ready. All right, so those are my 3 meatless meals. I hope that you enjoyed. Also, I have a lot of other meatless meals that are just as delicious as these. And so anyway, I hope that you all have an amazing Lent, and until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.